All right, and welcome to the table. I have Taurus set up for a two-player game here, and let me just do a rundown of the setup. First off, you have your travel cards here. You're going to go ahead and shuffle the deck, place 4 face up in the middle of the table, and then place the deck next to that. After that, each player will gain a destination board and a postcard point board that matches. So as we see here, we have a Salt Rift, which is the beach, and then we have Powder Crisp, which is the snowy Alps. And each player will also gain starter cards that will match those destinations. Each starter card will have 3 $0 and 1 $4. And also each player will start the game with $2 and 1 Taurus meeple on the first location of that destination board. And then you also will choose the start player at random, or however you'd like to choose that. You will have 8 Taurus meeples per player in the game. So in this example of a 2-player setup, we will have 16 meeples. So I have them laid out here, and that will also include the 1 meeple on each destination board. So there's a total of 16 meeples here. There's also need to have it reach the dollars, and then the travel's insurance tokens will be laid out over here. So, how does a turn play out? So the way the game works is your ultimate goal is to invite tourists to your destination, have them visit different locations, and then fly them out from visiting those locations. So the more locations they do visit, the more victory points or vacation points you will receive at the end of the game. And the way that works is I'll play out a few rounds to show how it does work, but your ultimate goal is to move along the board and get them to fly out to their postcard point board to receive max points. And the way that works out is we go through a couple phases on a round. So what you're going to do is gain a card, play your cards, pass, take income. And so the way that works is, I'll go ahead and give an example turn here. So on the Salt Rift player's turn, they decide to gain 1 free card. That's the first step. And they decide to go with this card here. And another rule is, the reason why I'm going to go and choose this card is you'll see it matches my destination. So I'm Salt Rift. This is a Salt Rift card. So what will happen is, when I do get to play this card, I will get a $1 discount. So as you'll see, it's a $4 card. And so I will only have to pay $3 to play the card. So what happens when you play a card? To play a card, you will pay the indicated amount that is on the card. So for example, this is a $4 card and there's 3 icons. The rulings on the icons is that you can play them in any order or not at all, but you must complete 1 card completely before you move on to another card, because on your turn you are able to play as many cards as you want or able to. So I'll give you an example on this card right here. Since it is a Salt Rift card, I will only have to pay $3. Then from there, an airplane. What an airplane is going to allow me to do is 2 things. One of 2 things, I should say. One is that you can fly a Taurus meeple into your destination to the first location, noted with the number 2. Or at any given time, you can play that airplane card and fly out a Taurus meeple from the location they are on the destination board. So for example, if I was to play this card right now, I would be able to bring a Taurus meeple in, and then the second icon would be a taxi. What a taxi is going to allow you to do is move a meeple 1 space to the right. And so for example, I could play this taxi and I would move it to the right 1 space. And then the next icon you have here, for example, is a draw a card icon. And in this one you can do one of 2 things as well. You can draw from the face up cards, or you can go from the top of the deck blind. And that would be the only time you can draw from the top of the deck, is if you use one of these icons. So I will play out a turn here just to show you how it works, and I'll play a few rounds just to get the feel for it, and then I'll show you how in-game scoring works. So on the Salt Rift player's turn, they get to decide 1 face-up card for free. So what they are deciding to do is they will go ahead and gain this card, bring it to their hand, and they are going to decide to play this card. As we talked with taxis, taxis are going to allow you to take a meeple and move it one space to the right. Now this card has 2 taxis on it, so there's some things you can do with this. The first thing I can do is I can move this meeple 1-2 spaces, but if I did have a second or third meeple in that space, I can decide to split that. So I could do 1-2 instead. So you decide how you want to move those meeples based off those actions. But in this instance, I can only do one thing. I'm going to go ahead and move it 1-2 spaces. So I'm just going to place that card down. And that is a starter card, as you'll notice, and it is $0. So I did not need to pay anything for that. So the next thing I am going to do is deciding, I think I'm going to play this card right here. This is another starter card. It is $0, but as we talked about with this icon, it is going to allow me to draw a card. So again, I can draw a card from the face-up deck or from the top of the deck. So what I decide I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and gain this card right here. And what this card here is, it's basically an income card. As you'll notice, it does have a $0 to play it, but you will gain $2 from it. So I'm going to go ahead and play that immediately, and I'm going to gain $2. So from there, I decide that I'm going to go ahead and pass on my turn. So after I pass, I'm going to go in and look at my board, and there are 2 income spaces on the board. So let me go ahead and show you those. So on the board, you're going to see this little income icon here is notating that that is an income space. So the way this works is any amount of meeples left at those 2 locations at the end of your turn after passing, you will gain $1 for each one of those Taurus meeples on that location. So in this example, I will gain $1 for my income at the end of my turn. So that would be the end of a player's turn, and from there we'll go ahead and do the reset of the cards. So the way this works is any remaining cards will get pushed down to the left, and $1 will be placed on any remaining card up to a max of $3. So once $3 is on a card, you no longer put $1 on there. So then we will bring the face-up cards back to 4. Turn will go to the next player. And so what this player is deciding to do is they're going to go ahead and gain 1 free card for their action, of course. And they're going to go ahead and go into this card right here. And the money that's on a card, the player will gain that money and get to keep that. And so this player is deciding they would like to they're going to play this card. And as I talked about before, if you play a destination card, a travel card that is in your destination, you will be allowed to get a $1 discount. So for example, on this card right here, I'm the Powder Crisp player here, and this is a Powder Crisp travel card, so I'm going to pay $2 for this card. So I'm going to pay my $2, and it's going to allow me to take an airplane action and a draw a card action. So I am going to go ahead and bring 1 Taurus meeple into my location, and I'm going to draw a card. And I think I'm going to go ahead and draw this card right here. So I'm going to go ahead and take that money, put it in my supply, and add that new card to my hand. The next thing I would like to do is, I think I'm going to play this card. So this card right here, this is the first time you've seen this icon. This is a bus. What a bus is going to allow you to do is let you move 2 and only 2 meeples 1 space. You can't use 1 meeple, you can't use 3, it's exactly 2, and you move them 1 space to the right. So for every bus, you can move 2 meeples to the right. So in this example, I'm going to play this card. It is $0, and I'm going to move these 2 meeples to the right 1 space. And my next card I'm going to play is, I think I'm going to play this card right here. Again, it's $0. But it is 2 taxis. So in this example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move 1 Taurus meeple 1 and another one again. So that would be 2 taxi actions. I am going to decide to pass, and so at that point, I'm going to go ahead and evaluate my locations for income. I have 2 meeples on this location, so I'm going to gain $2. So then I will push these cards down like that. We will place $1 on each of them, and we will reveal 2 new cards. And we'll go to the next player. So what we will do now is, I think a good turn would be, we'll go ahead and gain this card right here to the hand. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this card. And as we talked about before, if you play the same as your destination, you get a $1 discount. So this is a $3 card to play, and it is 2 airplanes. So I'm gonna place that there. I'm gonna pay my $4, and I'm gonna bring 2 tourist meeples in, just like that. There we go. Actually, let me go and put these like this. I think you'll be able to see them a little bit easier. And I will play this card right here. It's a single bus. You know what? I don't think that'd be a great idea for this turn. So actually, I will pass, actually. So we're gonna go ahead and place that down there. And after passing, you'll immediately take income. So as you'll see, I have 3 meeples located on these 2 destinations. So I will gain $3. And we will push the card down and put $1 on each remaining card. And reveal a new one. And play continues to the next player. And what he will be doing is, I think he will gain this card right here. And he will actually play that immediately. So again, this is a matching destination, so we get a $1 discount. So this is a $4 card. And what we have on this card, we have a airplane, a taxi, and a bus. And again, I can play those in any order I would like. So what I'm actually going to do is, let's see. Let me look at my cards real fast, just to give you a good example of something I could do. Let's try something else here. I'm gonna go ahead and play gain a card for $0, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and gain this card right here, and I get $1 out of that. And then I will play that $5 card for the $4 because of the $1 discount. And so I will do a bus, and then an airplane will allow me to fly 1 tourist meeple out to the destination that it is located already. And it is at the 8 space, so I will place them on the 8 space on my postcard point board. Now, this is an example of what could happen. As long as a good turn is a good turn, it's not too big a deal, but I am going to have to sacrifice that taxi because I can't move that taxi at all. So I went ahead and played that card, and I'm going to go ahead and decide to pass at the moment. And at this moment, as you see, I do not have any tourist meeples on my income location, so I don't receive any income at the end of my turn. So we will just push these cards down, gain $1 per card, and reveal new ones. And this player would like to I think they're going to gain this card right here. And what this is going to allow them to do is, I'm going to go ahead and play this card right here. This is a $4 card. It's going to give me an airplane, a taxi, and a new card. So I think what I'd like to do is I'm going to taxi. So I'm going to allow this guy to move over 1 space. I am going to use the airplane to fly him out. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw a card. And I think I'm going to go ahead and draw this card here. And that card was $4, so let me pay that $4. And I will go ahead and play this card, which is a bus. And the bus is going to allow me to take 2 meeples, 1 space. Then I will go ahead and play this card. It is $2, and it is 2 taxis. So I have to pay my $2, and then I'm going to move 1, 2. Now again, I could have gone 1, 2, but what I'd like to do is I'm going to go ahead and place those 2 right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and pass. And I'm going to go ahead and evaluate my board, and I have 2 meeples on a income space, so I'm going to gain $2. So play will continue until the last meeple, tourist meeple, touches a player's board, and from there, all the players will have equal amount of turns based off the start player. So for example, if the Powder Crisp player did put the last meeple on their board, the game would end immediately, and we would go straight to scoring. And we'll go ahead and explain scoring now. So the way scoring works is basically any meeples that are on the postcards will gain full point value, and any meeples that are on the destination board will gain half point value of where they are at that location. So, for example, here you see that 2 meeples are on the 6 location, so they'll get 3 points per meeple, so that's 6 points for those 2 meeples. And then you will see right here, there is 1 meeple on the 8-point postcard, and so that will receive full 8 points. And the 8 points plus the 6, that is going to give us 14 points at the end of the game there. And so the same thing with this player here, 8 points for the 1 meeple and 4 points for that meeple. So that is 12 points for that player. So obviously the player with the most points is the winner. Money, you do not receive any extra points for money. And the last thing I wanted to explain is at any given time, a player runs out of cards at the end of their turn. What they can decide to do, or what they will do, is gain a insurance travel token. And what this is going to allow them to do, they're going to take this token. It is worth -2 points at the end of the game, and they'll place it on their postcard point board here on the wallet, and they're going to gain 3 cards to the hand. And then that will be it. So basically, getting the token will allow you to get 3 new cards to your hand, but it will cost you a -2 points at the end of the game. So that is Tourist, and I hope you guys enjoy playing it, and you guys have a great day.